Quizzes can be used to assess understanding, reinforce learning, and provide timely feedback to students. Blackboard Ultra includes a variety of question types and settings that support different assessment needs. In this video, we'll review the basics of creating and deploying quizzes in your Blackboard Ultra course. In this example, we're going to create a quiz in Module 2. So I'm going to go to my Module 2 by clicking on this drop-down arrow, and I'm going to be placing the quiz after my assignment in the module. So let's hover to our gray line here. It'll turn purple, and I will click the plus sign and say create. And from the assessment area, I'm going to select test. Now this is where I will begin creating my quiz and adding the questions here. The first thing I'm going to do is give the quiz a title. I'm just going to call this quiz 2 for now. And I'm going to add a little bit of directions here at the beginning of the quiz. Click my plus sign. From the options, I will say add text. And I'm going to add a little bit of directions here. So I'm going to give this an overview. Set this as a header tag. That way it's a little bit more accessible. Make it a little bit more visually appealing. So I've added some guidelines and instructions for my quiz here. Then I'm going to save it. And we're going to begin by adding our questions to this quiz. So you'll see that Blackboard Ultra gives us the option to add several types of questions. We can do essays, fill in the blanks, hotspots, true and false, multiple choice, etc. So for this example, we're going to keep it simple. We'll start off by adding a multiple choice question. So I'll select multiple choice, and then I'm going to add my question text here. And I'll leave these options as inactive for now. And then I'm going to add my answer options. So the first one, once I've added all my options, I'm going to select the correct answer. So in this case, I'm going to select the correct answer as B. And then I'll hit save. You'll see my multiple choice question has been added. The next question type I'm going to add is a true and false question. This one is pretty simple. I'll add the question here, and I'll give the answer options as true and false, and then the correct answer for this one is true, and I'll hit save. And let's go ahead and add a third question. So we'll add an essay question here for this one. So my essay question, we'll add the text here, and I'll hit save. So now you'll see I have three questions, a multiple choice question, a true and false, and an essay question. So right now they're all set as 1 point each. I can edit the points. I can just click these three dots here and say edit. And I'll give this one 10 points and hit save. Do the same for the next two. Save. Then I'll do it for the last one. I'll hit save. That's it. Now, if you have 20 or 30 questions, it's going to take a while to edit the points for each and every question. There's also an option for bulk edit. So if you scroll up to where it says test content and click these three dots here, then you'll see bulk edit points. So you can select the questions you want to include in the bulk edit, but in my case, I'm just going to say select all. And you'll see like all of the questions have been selected. Let's change it to 5 point each. So I'm going to say 5, and then I'll hit update. You'll see that all of the questions have been assigned 5 points. So that saves us quite a bit of time. Once we've added our instructions and the questions, we're going to go ahead and edit the quiz settings. My due date, I'm going to change it I'll assign it a due date of, let's say, next Sunday at 11:59 p.m. I'm going to edit I'm going to prohibit late submissions. And once again, the instructor can change whatever settings they want. But in this example, I'm just going to choose the settings that I see fit. So I'm going to display one question at a time. I can randomize questions. I can randomize the answer options, and I'll prohibit backtracking. And once I'm satisfied with all my settings, I will say save. If you notice, I'm not adding any time limit here, but if you want, you can add a time limit too. Once I hit save, it'll take me here, and I can double check all my quiz settings. All right, looks good. And my quiz is ready to be deployed. Now you'll notice up here it says it's hidden from students. That's because by default, whenever you create an assignment, a discussion, or a quiz in Blackboard, it's going to set the visibility status to hidden. So you want to make sure it's set to visible to students. You can click on the drop-down arrow and select visible to students. Our quiz is ready to go. Now let's take a look at what this looks like from a student perspective. I'm going to X out of this and turn on my student preview. Then I'll hit start preview. You'll see up here I'm currently in student preview mode. I'm going to go to my module 2 as a student. Click the quiz, take it as a student. Let's see what it looks like. Here it's going to give me some of the quiz settings so I know what to expect. And then I'm going to hit start attempt. And here we've added our directions so the student can review the directions and hit continue. And since the settings were set to display one question at a time, it's just going to show the student one question at a time. So I'm just going to add a generic response here. Say continue. Select true for this one. And I'm going to select option B. And once I'm done with the quiz, I'll hit submit. And we will see that the submission was successful. The student has received a confirmation number as well. And that is how you set up and deploy a quiz in your Blackboard Ultra course.